Yo, what's going on, guys? So, today in this video, I'm going to be talking about Roman Reigns and why I personally think he sucks nowadays. Because there's just been some issues I've been having with him currently, like where he's the current Roman Reigns. And I just don't really, I'm not really enjoying him right now anymore. So, it's like, me personally, I just wanted to make this video to kind of just explain why I don't like Roman Reigns um, as of late. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I'm going to continue making these WWE videos um, just for you guys who be watching them. And, those of you who, like, because I know I make all kinds of videos on my channel. Like, I upload, like, WWE videos and horror movie videos and reaction videos and just like random, screen recording videos I upload. Like I upload a whole bunch of stuff. And so, like, people, they might watch my WWE videos or they might watch my other videos or whatever. And so, whatever you may be interested in, you could, watch those kinds of videos. And like I'm gonna continue making all kinds of videos. But as of lately, I just been making these WWE videos because this is what I've been. These are the kind of videos I've been wanting to make for a while now. So now I'm able to do it. I have the motivation, I have the time, I have the energy. So let's just do it. And I'll get back to the other kind of content, later on. But anyways, we're just gonna dive right into this. So my issues with Roman Reigns is the simple fact that every single time since Roman Reigns lost the title, all he's done is just leave, come back, leave, come back, leave, come back. It's just like the same thing over and over again. There's no creativity with the Roman Reigns anymore. He's just he comes back, then he does some filler match and some filler feud that has no storyline or build up to it. And then he either loses or wins, and then he disappears again for months. And then the same thing. It's the same thing, bro. It's like, what is so special about Roman Reigns anymore? There is nothing that really catches your eye when it comes to this guy anymore. Like, he used to be someone who you could be like, man, like he's really the top guy in this company. He's really carrying it, and he's someone who's like, on another level. But now it's just like he just feels like a regular wrestler, just there showing up, doing nothing, doing filler, just a jobber. Like that's how he feels now, and it's just like it's unfortunate. It really is because Roman Reigns. I'll be honest, like because I started watching WWE in like late 2022, um, and like so I started watching him in WWE like very close to the end of the year of 2022. And so because of that, what I was like, I didn't like see the early parts of Roman Reigns title reign of like from 2020 to like 2022. um but like from 2023 onward, I started paying attention to the whole bloodline story, and I even went back to the other storylines and matches he had before that. And like, you know I thought he was decent. But like I wasn't really that, I didn't think that highly of Roman Reigns. And like towards the end of 2023, um I would say like I was kind of like tired of Roman Reigns, and I was just like getting annoyed with him because he was always just like cheating, and he was barely showing up and having any title defenses. And you know I just felt like his promos weren't really all that either. So I was like hoping that like, I remember when LA Knight came in, I was hoping he would take the title. Then when Cody Rhodes came around, um, the first time I was hoping Cody would take the title, and the second time I was hoping Cody Rhodes would take the title again. Um, but it's like, and I didn't really appreciate Roman Reigns for who he was. I was just like, like I'm like, this guy, like I thought he was okay, but I didn't really really appreciate him for how great of a wrestler he was and how great of a storyteller he was. I was just like whatever about him. I was kind of annoyed with him after a while, like I said, and like towards the end of his title reign, I was just like, man, I really hope he loses the title to someone because all this guy does is he barely shows up and you know, he just always cheats to win. It's just the same stuff, and you know, but now looking back, it's just like wow, Roman Reigns was actually a really good champion because you know, not long after he lost the title, I looked back and I was like, man, he has so many great storylines. He had so many good matches, good storylines, good feuds. Like everything felt amazing during his title reign. Everything felt epic. But then, not long after, you know, when he lost the title, it's just like, oh, now Roman Reigns doesn't have that aura or whatever. You know, like the people like to use that word. Um, I don't like using that word, but I you know it was just like you know he just didn't have you know anything great about him anymore. It was just like he came back at SummerSlam last year to fight Solo Sikoa for the Ulafala. He fought Solo Sikoa for months. That feud continued on for months, and there was like really no build up to it. There was no and it like you know Roman won, and I was just like I don't care, you know. And then Roman Reigns doesn't even wear the Ulafala anyways, nor is the Bloodline with each other anymore. They're all just separate, doing their own thing. It's like who cares, you know? It's just like this whole Bloodline reunion was just pointless. It was dumb, and it was just like you know a whole bunch of filler with Roman when he came back during you know the 2024 SummerSlam of you know. So yeah, it was just like his whole feud with Solo was filler. His whole him being in the Royal Rumble was filler. Um, that triple threat he had with Seth and Punk was filler. The tag team match that he had with Jey Uso was also filler. It's just like all this guy does. It's just a whole bunch of pointless filler matches. That's all he does, bro. He does nothing special anymore. There is nothing that really like you know. There's nothing you know about Roman Reigns that's like that makes you think, man, this guy is he's still awesome. He's still someone that like feels like the top guy anymore. Like no, it's just nothing to him. He just leaves for months, comes back, does filler matches, either wins or loses, and then disappears again. And it's the same, you know, recycle, repeat, rinse and repeat. It's like that's all it is. So that's my problem with Roman Reigns. That's why I think he's garbage nowadays. His promos, his matches, just really they're really not all that anymore either. And you know, he's just like you know, but you know, I think his match with Seth and Punk was good. I think that was a good match, the triple threat that he had. But all the other matches he had since you know since he returned to fight Solo at SummerSlam, like you know, it was just like whatever. I don't really care for me personally. I think his matches and all his promos since he returned for 2024 SummerSlam has just been garbage. Like there's just nothing epic about him anymore. He just like I said he just feels like a regular guy on the roster doing absolutely nothing. And so those are my issues with Roman Reigns and you know like he gets all these cheers, he gets all these pops and he gets all this support and you know like people like him and you know it is what it is. Like people like him, you know. I'm not gonna knock that, you know, it is what it is. If you like him, it is what it is. But me personally, I just can't. If I was in the crowd, I wouldn't cheer Roman Reigns. You know, like I wouldn't boo him either, but I wouldn't cheer him. I wouldn't cheer him either. It's like, why would I cheer this guy? Like he does nothing. He just comes back, does these filler matches, either wins or loses, and then you know rinse and repeat the same cycle. You know, there's nothing special about him anymore. So those are my issues with Roman Reigns, and you know some people who might watch this video specifically because there's this guy who's like um his name is like I think it's Roman Crushes Jobbers or whatever. like I've been commenting on other WWE channels recently because I've been watching all these WWE videos. These other YouTubers who make ranting videos like this, right? Or similar like this, and I've been commenting on those kinds of videos, and then this Roman Crushers Jobbers guy, he's commenting on all my, like, not all of them, but like he's commented on quite a bit of my comments where I'm talking about something else completely different, having nothing to do with Roman Reigns. And then he comes and comments to me and a whole bunch of other people talking about how, oh, why are you not praising Roman Reigns? Why are you not supporting him? You're supporting other wrestlers but him. You're supporting jobbers but him. It's just like, I don't know. Like the guy is clearly a Roman Reigns glazer, because he's just like being rude and just like obnoxious, obnoxious. Just because people don't like Roman Reigns, it's like, or people aren't talking about him and are talking about other wrestlers. It's just like, I don't know. It's just dumb. So that guy might watch this video and he might be commenting. He might comment like some hate comment and be like, "Oh, you're talking crap about Roman Reigns." Like, whatever, man. I don't care. But anyways, yeah, like me personally, I don't see anything special about Roman Reigns. And like people talk about how he's a face now or whatever. I've already talked about this before, but it's like, come on, man, he's not a face. Like, I talked about it in my Seth video, I talked about it in my Drew McIntyre video, um like, and I also talked about it, I think, in I don't know, maybe some other video. I know I talked about it as well, but I talked about it in other videos pretty much where I was like, yeah, I explained why Roman Reigns is not a face and whatnot, and I'm just gonna explain it again because, like, since this video's about Roman Reigns, I might as well just bring this up as well because, like, and go more in depth with it because, yeah, Roman Reigns, he's not a face. Like, people, when he returned at 2024 SummerSlam, people were like thinking this was some epic um face turn. He was like revitalizing himself, and like, people just thought that, man, Roman Reigns, he's gonna be a good person now. He's the good guy now, and he's gonna help everyone. He's gonna do the right thing all the time, and just like he's gonna be this new character. And but like we didn't get that at all. Like, because Roman Reigns, he came back, he only fought Solo Sikoa because of the Olafala, and because Solo Sikoa was claiming to be the tribal chief. It had nothing to do with Solo Sikoa being a heel. It had nothing to do with that. Roman Reigns didn't even say anything about Solo Sikoa being a heel or whatever. He didn't care. Roman Reigns just simply wanted the Olafala back. He didn't care about like Solo Sikoa being a bad person. Like, why would Roman Reigns care? Because he's a bad person himself. Roman Reigns never changed, or else he would have just simply acknowledged, no pun intended, Solo Sikoa's bad actions, and he would have just been like, hey, like, what are you doing? I mean, like, he did talk about like the bloodline being separated or whatever. Um, with, like, because all the bloodline members weren't reunited still. The OG bloodline, and also, Solo having his own bloodline and feuding with Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. So, like, obviously, like, Roman Reigns wasn't okay with the separation of the bloodline, and he wanted to fix things and make things right, but he wasn't like trying to be cool with Solo, nor was he like and try to get him to be a good person, nor did he care about Solo being a bad person. Roman Reigns just simply wanted the Olafala. That's all it was, bro. Like, so for people to try to say like, oh, Roman turned face, like, no, he never did. He's still the same person. He's still an egotistical narcissist, um, who only returned to get the Olafala back. Like, like Paul Heyman said it. He said it too. Like, did Roman Reigns come to avenge me whenever Solo's bloodline put me through the table? and try to end my career? No. Instead, Roman Reigns came back just to get the Ulafala back. And so, and then, so, it's true. It literally is true. So, like, and then, like, Roman Reigns, like, he was, like, talking, before the OG Bloodline reunited, he was talking down on, Sammy and Jey Uso. He was, like, talking down on them, making it seem like, oh, they betrayed him. They were still in the wrong for, turning against him. And, like, he was talking down on them. Like, he was like, like, oh, he was like, I don't want anything to do with y'all. And then once he got Jay's help, Jay literally told Roman, if you talk down on me ever again, I'm not gonna, I'm done with you. That's basically what he said. But then Roman Reigns talks down on Jay again. He literally told Jay, like, oh, why do you want Sami Zayn to be in our group? Why do you want um why do you want that fool to be in our group? After he betrayed us, and whatnot. And, like, if you want if you want Sami Zayn to be in our group again, then why don't you take your ass and go help him then, and go team with him then. That's basically what he said, and he said it in a rude way, and, like, Jey Uso was like, all right, I give you a chance to not ever be rude or disrespect me ever again, and you did it again, so now I'm done with you. And then, like, what he like comes back and he reunites with Roman, like, once again. Like, it was stupid, but, like, that's basically another thing that, like, points to Roman Reigns not changing, because Roman Reigns, he literally said it himself. Like, he literally told Jay, go, he was like, oh, go take your ass. If you want Sammy to be in our group again, then take your ass and go with him. Then, like, be you team with him, and, like, and then he was like, whenever when Sammy came to confront Roman, and he told, like, he was like telling Roman to apologize to Jay. But before that, Roman thought Sammy was asking for an apology, and, but, like, obviously, um, that wasn't the case. But Roman thought that Sammy was asking for an apology, and Roman was like, if you came out here, expecting an apology, I'm not gonna give it to you. That's basically what he said. And then Sammy was like, oh, I'm not asking for you to apologize to me. I'm asking for you to apologize to Jay. So he didn't even want to apologize to Sammy, let alone Jay Uso, his own family member. Like, Jay was like Sammy was like, oh, I want you to apologize to Jay. And, did Roman even do that? No. He literally just, and people are like, oh, he's so mean. He's being, like, critical. That's not what to do, apologize. Bro, come on. Like, if you're gonna apologize, you could have just, like, showed. He had, like, the whole time Jay was talking and Sammy were talking, like, the whole time Jay was, like, explaining Roman Reigns' past actions, his bad past actions towards Jay. Like, Roman was just, he had this, like, angry, like, I don't care look on his face. Um, and then when Sammy was telling Roman to apologize to Jay, Roman, he still had that, like, angry, I don't give a crap, attitude on his face as well. So, like, and so, like, Roman's whole, like, he literally didn't want to apologize, nor did he apologize by saying, fucking yeet or whatever. Like, that's not an apology, bro. That's literally just him trying to get Jay to be on his side, that's him accepting his help and trying to get, the bloodline reunited so that way they can help him get the Ulafala back. It had nothing to do with apologizing. If he wanted to apologize, he would have just showed remorse and straight up apologized. What kind of apology is that, bro? Like, literally, are you serious? That's literally just accepting their help. That's literally just, like, saying, okay, we're going to be on the same page kind of thing, right? That's not that's not a, like, I'm apologizing because I feel bad kind of thing. Like, it's like, so it's like, yeah, like, Roman Reigns never apologized to anyone, any of his bloodline members. He didn't care about Solo being a heel. He didn't care about Paul Heyman getting put through the table by Solo Sikoa's bloodline, the new bloodline. He didn't avenge Paul Heyman, and he just came back to get the Wheel of Fallout back. And he used his OG bloodline to get the Wheel of Fallout back. So, yeah, Roman is not a face. And, like I said, he's still like an egotistical narcissist. He tries to make the spotlight all about him, and tries. He's still that same character. Roman Reigns literally said it himself. Like not long after he returned at 2024 SummerSlam, he literally said it himself. Some people change and some things change, but I will never change. He literally said it himself. So how can anyone sit here and be like he's a face, you know? And the reason I'm even talking about all this whole, people saying he's a face thing is to basically, show that Roman Reigns doesn't have any new character to him at all. When he lost the title, he's still the same person. The only difference is now he's just a boring jobber. That's literally all it is. Doing filler matches. That's literally all it is. There's no character change. There's nothing interesting about him. He's still the same person, just more like watered down. That's basically what it is. Like there's nothing special about him character wise. And he's still the same person. And so, you know, if he really was a face, there would have been signs that he changed as a person and as a character, but he's still the same. So that's why I'm talking about this whole face thing. It's not just because I've already talked about him not being a face, because I wanted to kind of just get to that point. I talked, like I said in my other videos, I've already said that he's not a face, but that was more so because I was just trying to prove that he's not a face and he's still like the villain. But in this video, it's because I'm talking about it because I'm basically just trying to say like he's still the same person. He doesn't have any new character. Like he came back at 2024 SummerSlam, and he's still the same person. He literally said it himself. Some people change, but not me. That's basically what he said. So it's like there's literally like not only is he a boring jobber, but there's nothing that changed about him. Like you would think once he lost the title, like maybe there'd be. I'm not saying he had to be a face. But you would at least think there would be something new to him as a character, but he's still the same. He's just like a more like light version of the old Roman Reigns, like with the tribal chief when he was still running the bloodline and everything. He's basically just a light version of that. That's all it is, but he's still the same overall. It's like there's nothing unique, character change. There's no unique character, like change in arc that has happened with Roman Reigns. He's still the same person. So I don't know. To me, it's just like Roman Reigns. I felt like we need him to start showing up more often, and we need him to get a character change and actually be involved in more storylines and like meaningful storylines and have meaningful matches. Like we need that Roman Reigns back again, because the Roman Reigns right now is garbage. He's boring. He does nothing of value anymore. So it's like, and like people, like I said, they get excited every time he comes back, and they're like but it's just like for me, it's like, well, why would I get excited knowing that this guy, he's gonna return, he's gonna do some pointless match, a filler match, and then he's gonna leave again for months. Like, why would I care? Like, he just had another return again. Like he was gone for 2 weeks and then he came back again. It's just like, come on, man. It's the same thing with him, bro. It's the same thing. And like this wasn't even a long, break. He was just gone for 2 weeks, but like people were still treating this like some epic return. And to me, it's just like I can't treat it like that, because not only was he only gone for 2 weeks, but it's like he does this all the time. Like he comes back and he leaves. It's the same thing. We need some character change. We need some character, and we need him to be in impactful storylines again and have some character change and personality again. We need that for Roman Reigns because right now he's just a boring filler jobber right now. Like there's nothing to him anymore. So that's my opinion personally. I don't know if any of you agree with anything I said in this video about Roman Reigns. I'm sure there's gonna be people out there that are gonna be like, "No, you're wrong. Roman Reigns he's still fun. He's still the same Roman Reigns like that we all enjoyed during his Tribal Chief era." But you know, again, I just don't see it that way, man. I just feel like Roman Reigns, he's just not the same anymore. You know, when he was the champion. Once he lost the title, bro, like he just hasn't been the same. And looking back, he shouldn't have lost the title to Cody Rhodes. You know, and I said that in my Cody Rhodes video. I was like, man, looking back, Cody shouldn't have lost the title. I mean, Roman shouldn't have lost the title to Cody, of all people. You know, like Cody should have never won it. Roman should have just lost it to someone else. You know, so it's like, yeah, it's like to me, like to me, we just need something. We just need Roman Reigns to start showing up again. We need him to have, you know, some character arc, some character change, some character personality, and you know, unique storylines. We need that for Roman Reigns again, because right now he's just not cutting it for me. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe to the channel. If you guys are new, I would really appreciate it, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace. Peace. I just felt like doing it again. All right, bye for all this time. Peace out. Bye.